Today's 685th day that I'm here to share lessons I learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about pacing because pacing is one of the most essential things in life as well. Because a lot of times people run and run and run and have so much intensity at the beginning, and they're not able to sustain that, and they quit and they lose. And I thought about it because yesterday I was running 10K competition, 10 kilometer competition, and at 2 kilometers I was running too fast, too fast. I was running with the main group with high pro athletes, and of course I was not able to sustain it. And I needed to slow down a little bit and go back to my way of doing things. And how am I supposed to expect to be able to run with pro athletes if I'm just advanced? I finished. My result was pretty good. I expected a little better, because sometimes when you try to run and begin too fast, that means sometimes you need to slow down and go a little bit slower than you're able to do that. So I'm a pretty good runner. I ran 10K in 38 minutes 30 seconds. So like it was a good result. But I know that if I could measure my pacing much better, I could achieve much better result. So pacing, how you achieve and how to pursue things, is essential to really get the best result. If you don't work on pacing, of course you will get some kind of results. But if you really work very hard on pacing yourself, how fast you're supposed to move, how fast you're supposed to really take care of yourself, and really ask like how fast I'm able to move right now. Because some people are 10 steps ahead of you. So you're not supposed to expect to move as fast as they. Because if you try to move as fast as people who are ahead of you, you most likely will not be able to sustain for a long period of time. For a short period of time, you will be able, and you feel good about yourself. But after that, sooner or later, you'll need to fall back and fall down, because there's a lot of things that you still need to work for and deserve it and earn it to be able to compete with the highest levels in whatever skill set or sport, whatever you want to do. So today we'll share like what really in personal development, like when people really start something new, a new skill, like what happens if people do not pace themselves very well. So first one is that could be burnout. So when people start building a new skill, building something about themselves, and they work so hard for a month, maybe 2 weeks, maybe they work so hard, 16 hours a day, like and just working very hard because I want to build a skill set, and they burn out. So that means that you need to make sure that you are pacing your well, that you don't get burned out, because burnout is quite common. But a lot of times people burn out because they didn't work on self care, and that's why they burn out. And they put too much emphasis on intensity rather than understanding that this is lifelong skill set, and we need to be more consistent than intense. Because always between intensity and consistency will always wins. Always wins. Now I understand that during competition you need to be intense, but at the same time, only if you're consistent at doing during practice, then you'll be able to be intense during competition. Number two is lack of sustainability. So that means that like if you pursue very intense from the beginning, a lot of times you will not be able to sustain the same speed for a long time. So when you build a skill set and you spend too much time on it, not just you potentially can burn out. Second thing is that you will not able to sustain that. And because you are not able to sustain it, you say, oh, this is not for me. Maybe I need to quit altogether. And that's the worst thing to do. So that means we need to ask ourselves, how long we're able to sustain this kind of activity? How long we're able to put this kind of hours in building this skill? How long we're able to really develop our mindsets in working like this? And if your answer is just a week or two, then you realize that maybe you're not able to do that. How other parts are neglected because you allocate so much time to really building that skill set in a not healthy pacing way. Number three is overwhelming stress. A lot of times, people who put so much effort, they start to think that because they put so much effort, they deserve to get a very fast result. And now, because they don't get those fast results, because you need to have a rest and recharge to really get the most results from anything that you build. And because now you don't get results, you're working so hard, You feel overwhelmed by stress because you're working so hard. You want those results so fast, and sometimes relaxing is one of the best, and recharging is the best thing that you can do. Because when your mind, your body is recharged, you're able to take in information much better. So it's much more effective sometimes, really being able to pace yourself by recharging. Sometimes it's sounds unproductive, recharge, because you don't want to work super hard to build a skill set. But sometimes the most productive thing that you could do for yourself is really recharge. There is nothing else that you potentially could do at some points, just recharge, because that recharge will make you 10 times more productive. Number four is neglecting other areas of your life. Neglecting other areas of your life. That is very common. Like, I have done that in the past for sure. Like when I pursue a new skill, working 12, 13, 14 hours a day. And when you look into your schedule, what else did you put in your calendar? What else? Like there's a lot of things that you need to put. Self-care, family, friends. And of course that like there's a lot of things that you need to consider that the seasons. But if you do that for a week, a month, that totally by yourself and doing those things without exercising, taking care of yourself, without eating healthy and building community around yourself, sooner or later you are most likely quitting. That's why it's very important to really take care of other parts of your life to make sure that you are able to sustain the activity that you do now. Number five is missing the learning experience. Missing the learning experience. A lot of times people go through stuff and really don't reflect on all the things that they learn because they take action, and really don't reflect on all the lessons that came from that action. So it's very important not just sometimes take action, but really sit down and say like, what did I learn from that action? What kind of experience? What I'm able to implement next time? Because if you just take action but really without reflection, it's very hard to improve. So that means that you're doing the same mistake over and over again, and your productivity and real efficiency doesn't improve as much because you do not reflect. So sometimes it's very important to reflect rather than take action. But again, this is I believe in rule like um, 80-10-10. So that means that you take your action 80% of the time, 10% you reflect, and 10% you learn. And then of course you take action, reflect, learn. Take action, reflect, learn. And that's how I truly believe that is you're able to achieve the best outcome. Number six is failure and discouragement. Now a lot of times because people don't get rest, they don't pace themselves well, they are not good, they don't have good attitude, that bad attitude leads to other disappointments, and because of that a lot of times people fail, and of course they feel discouraged, and at the same time because they have those negative thoughts and beliefs and all of this, they decide to quit. And that's why it's always important to really pace yourself, that you don't have discouragement, that you don't have that bad attitude, and really you don't fail. But if you fail, you still have that good attitude because you kept yourself in inner peace. You kept yourself with good attitude, and you know that every single failure is a lesson forward. And the last one is seven is ignoring mental health. Now, a lot of times people like it's very important. It's very important to work very hard, intensely on building a skill and getting out of your position. But again, like it is very similar to ignore other areas of life. Sometimes people ignoring their own mental and emotional state, because those are important. Sometimes it's even more important because how you think and what kind of attitude do you have regarding the things that you work on is essential. What kind of results you're getting out of the things that you do, because sometimes you're able to do the same thing with different attitude, even though that you do exactly the same thing. Great, better attitude will always outperform a person who does exactly the same hours. So having great attitude and working for great attitude is essential to really perform at the highest level. So now, what to do? What to do to really to pace yourself first? To pace yourself well. So first, what you need to do, you need to really set your realistic goals. What are realistic goals? So that means that what you're able to do in a month, in a week. If you don't know what you're able to do, maybe you're able to find a guide or a person who have achieved what you want and said how long it took for you. Now, of course, it could be that they have been different story. Maybe they started from level 5 and you started from level 1. So that means it might be there will be some differences. And you need to acknowledge that and say, okay, he was a little bit better when he started, so most likely it will take a little bit longer. So for him it took him 2 months, so if I start lower, maybe it will take 4 months to do that. And be always giving some range to make sure that if something doesn't happen by that timeline, you still don't say that, oh, this is not for me, I'm quitting. No, sometimes it's different external things that happens and time allocation, everything, so many different things that we are not able to compare. What most important part is how much did you grow, and you compare yourself with yesterday. At the same time, to start, you're able to compare yourself just at the beginning, but you need to be very, very careful with that. And after that, you just need to compare with yourself. Second is prioritize self-care. So when you really want to pace yourself up, you need to prioritize self-care. When you take care of yourself, everything else will be taken care of sooner or later. Because if you hit a tree with an axe 1,000 times in exactly the same spot, the tree will fall. So when you know that you take care of yourself, you will able to hit that tree every single day because you have energy to do that. So self-care is essential in pacing yourself well. Number three is practice patience. I really love saying that. That you need to be aggressive with your actions, patient with your results. Aggressive with your actions, patient with your results. That means that you're not patient, not doing anything, just holding your hands and waiting until the result will come. No, you are taking actions all the time, but at the same time you are patient and you know that the results will come sooner or later because you're taking action. Number four is seek support. This is essential. Ask, how much time am I supposed to give to this? What I'm able to do to become more efficient? How fast I could learn it, and everything. You're able to ask so many different questions about growth, improving, becoming more efficient, and how allocate different things, and how to balance your time better. Like there's so many things that we able to ask for guidance for. And number five is self-reflection. Regular self-reflection. This is essential in pacing well. That means that sometimes you are under pacing. That means that you're able to do more, and you're just giving like an hour a day, even though that if you could master your day better, you could potentially do 3 hours. So it's self-reflection and reflection is essential in pacing. So you do 1 week of activity, and then at the end of the week, I said, okay, so how did I do? If I'm able to improve, do I have a lot of energy left at the weekend on Sunday, or I'm like super tired? I need to a little bit put my pedal back a little bit and really see if maybe I need to reduce just a little bit and see how I will feel next week. Because self reflection is one of the most important key parts to really achieve great things in life. Because in life is not how fast you're able to do, but really how long you're able to do things. Because sometimes people achieve great results in a very short period of time, but their health is destroyed, their families are destroyed, everything is destroyed. Only the one thing that they achieve is one goal. But one goal that will not make you fulfill. Most people who achieve some kind of goal, they realize that that goal was just a temporary goal, and after that goal, still have a lot of goals to pursue. But when you take care of all other parts of your life that are most essential, like your family, your health, and all other parts, then you have all your lifetime to pursue the goals that you have set for yourself with the right pacing. So pacing is essential question in life. And every single person needs to choose what kind of goals they want to pursue and then pace themselves in a right pace to achieve that. And of course, I truly believe that one of the best way to do it is find a guy, that person who have done what you try to achieve, and you'll ask, what did you do and how you paced yourself to be able to achieve that kind of goal? So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.